Hello, my AstroLada friends. Thank you for joining me for this week's Astro Weather Watch. I'm Kesenya and I'm your relationship astrologer here at Astrolada. It is such a delight to be doing this week's Astro Weather with you, but there's not too much on the horizon. However, what is happening is quite fascinating. Firstly, on the 13th of May, that's Australian time, you can subtract that and make it the 12th of May in other parts of the world, we have Saturn moving to the anaretic degree of Pisces. The anaretic degree is the final degree of Pisces, 29 degrees. This is known as the degree of fate. And it's these final degrees of each sign, the 29th degree of each sign, that can be sometimes considered to be problematic. It's like a peak point. The planet, in this case Saturn, has gone as far as it can go in a single sign, and therefore in whole sign astrology as far as it can go in a single house, and therefore it's desperate to accomplish its mission and its purpose and its reason for being in that particular house. So it gets a bit frantic. The energy of the 29th degree can be a bit frantic. Now there can be some real issues with decision making when we have a planet at the final degree, because it's like we're in a little bit of a panic. Is this the right choice? Is this the right choice? I haven't got much time. Oh my God, what am I going to choose? That's part of the energy. If you're feeling that way, this is why. There can be some issues regarding evaluation, and what I mean by that is we're evaluating and then we're reevaluating and we're reevaluating, we're tossing things around, and therefore our mind is restless. We jump from one decision to another, and we can be a little bit reckless because of this frantic energy. There's this sense of urgency with the anaretic degree. The planet is desperate to accomplish its mission in that area of the chart, and so hence this frantic energy and this sort of almost anxious energy. Oh my God, I've got to get things done. Now, because of this, it can be a time of poor choices, difficulties, a sense of crisis, or overcompensation. So these may be flourishing up. Flourishing perhaps isn't the right word to use. They can be bubbling up in many areas of life, depending on what house Saturn is transiting. If he's in the 7th house, these things might be happening in a relationship or a business partnership. If he's in the 10th house, it might be happening with regards to career and worldly achievements. You get how this works. Now, often the 29th degree is also associated with the manifestation of the shadow expressions of the planet or the sign, or both the planet and the sign. So don't be surprised, my friends, to see the shadow expressions of Saturn coming out today, or this is on the 13th or the shadow expressions of Pisces. Shadow expressions of Pisces, just briefly, can be things like deception, delusionment, disappointment, despair. Some of the shadow sides of Saturn are criticism, negativity, glass half empty kind of thinking. Now, they're just a few. There's many shadow elements and understandings of how these shadow sides express, but that is probably all I can fit in to talk about in the time frame of our Astro Weather Watch this week. Now, also on the 13th of May, Australian time, 12th of May in other parts of the world, do your double checking by Googling online, we have a full moon in Scorpio at 22 degrees of Scorpio. Now, this is quite a mild full moon. What a relief, especially after the recent new moon in Taurus, which was quite angsty. It's got nothing really going on except a sextile to Saturn, and that can solidify things that are fruiting in our lives under this full moon energy. So this is quite interesting, in also that the Sun is in a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus at this time as well. So there could be a pleasant surprise, something shocking out of the blue that comes from that combination of energies too. So do you have planets around 22 degrees of Scorpio? Were you born during the night? Do you have strong Scorpio placements in your chart? Well, this could affect you more profoundly this full moon than other people might experience. So just forewarned, forearmed on that one. And then on the 18th of May, Australian time, 17th of May, mostly in other parts of the world, we have the Sun conjunct with Uranus as well. by the exact degree. For the full moon, it's kind of, there's an orb of about 5 degrees difference. By the 18th of May, they will actually be together. Now, when we have the sun in a conjunction with Uranus, self-expression goes to a new level, really. You know, the sun is self-expression, Uranus is freedom and liberation. So under this energy, we might be shining our inner truth, our inner self-expression of who we are for all the world to see. We can also get our inner rebel on, finding that there's a cause to get, illuminated about. The sun is illumination. Uranus is the rebellious, liberated, authentic spirit that we want to see some change happen. We want to see authenticity. We want to see truth in the world and in our personal lives. We get our inner rebel on. We can also find under this energy that we encounter a powerful source of inspiration in our lives. You might see a meme on Instagram and it just really sets you afire. You might read a book and suddenly it changes the whole course of your life. You might have a conversation on the subway with some random stranger and they provide you with a powerful source of inspiration. But wherever this inspiration comes from, when the sun conjuncts Uranus, it's going to be surprising, out of the blue. You didn't exactly see it coming your way. Now, many people, especially with people with the sun in the first house, will have a strong urge to break free from subjugation in their lives. Now, this is particularly true for anyone with the sun in fire signs in the first house. This sun conjunct Uranus in the, I said fire signs, I meant to say the fixed signs in the first house. So that's Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius. If you've got the sun in the first house in a fixed sign, you're going to feel this sun conjunct Uranus more so than other people. And you'll feel it by having a strong urge to break free from any subjugation, as I said, in your life. There could be some impulsive behaviors. There could be some conflicts with authority figures in response to this momentum. But all in all, it's a terrific energy for new creative ideas, bright sparks of insight, and surprising opportunities for us all. Bring it on. We're all ready. And that's it for this week's Astro Weather Watch. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget, if you'd like a report from me or a reading with me, just go to my readers page at AstroLada and you'll get the lowdown on how to connect with me right there. I'll catch you next week.